Welcome in, welcome in. We're going to be playing some Scarlet Hollow. Should be fun, should be interesting. We've always enjoyed this, so now we continue where we left off. Avery heads off, leaving the square in front of the library empty. Sybil returns not long after Avery leaves. It's time to go back to the estate.
Your cousin wasn't exactly thrilled to hear about what happened tonight, but I think I blunted her anger as much as I could. Shall we?
Go back to the estate. Oof. Little guys everywhere. You once again find yourself on the long trek back to the estate. The night feels cold, the crunch of leaves beneath your feet deafening in the quiet wilderness.
Let's stop here for a bit. These old bones need a moment to rest.
There's ditchlings everywhere.
There are. I'm afraid that the spirit you dealt with tonight was merely a symptom of the rot here, rather than its cause. People are unfortunately just going to have to get used to the sight of these things in the coming days.
Are you a witch? She laughs, surprised by your question.
I suppose some people might call me one, but I'm just an old woman who fancies herself a bit of a healer.
That was a silly question. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, dear. I'm sure your mind is absolutely swimming with all sorts of questions right now. It's only natural to be curious. That's enough rest for me. Let's carry on for a bit.
I got one question? Really? You and Sybil walk deeper into the woods. You're getting closer to the estate.
One last rest, and we'll get you home.
Edwardine killed Charles Jr., but it feels like I'm only scratching the surface of things. What has my family done?
Okay. Is that what the spirit showed you? Your family built one of the most powerful coal empires in Appalachia. Those sorts of things don't come about without betrayal and bloodshed. These are all assumptions, of course. I'm just an old woman who enjoys her tea, and the Scarlet Empire is far older than these rattling bones.
I don't think so.
If you want the bloody details, I'm afraid you'll have to find them yourself.
There was a stone carving of a goat's head and a pack of wolves in that basement. There was a stone carving of a goat's head and a pack of wolves in that basement. There was something similar in the mines last night, too. A circle of arms and chains. Both of them gave me visions.
Was there now? That's quite an interesting development. Perhaps we can discuss these visions over tea. My grandmother had a special blend that supposedly helped with dreams and visions. I'll be sure to have some ready by tomorrow. Maybe it'll help us piece things together.
As long as your grandmother's special blend tastes better than that chaga you gave me yesterday.
You sound just like Miles, Darker Neon. I'll be sure to have plenty of milk and honey on hand to cover up the taste.
Sybil, what is Wayne?
It's like I said, he's just a man.
Who does she think you are? There's no way in hell that Wayne is just a man. No, absolutely not. He's not just a fucking man. Why the hell do you think I'd buy that after tonight? The smile briefly fades from her face.
Language, Darker Neon. We don't use words like that around my ass. And to respond to your accusation, it's not exactly polite to share people's medical history. I may have not taken the Hippocratic Oath, but I still respect the privacy of others. Why can't I just go home, like to my real home? You poor dear, this is your real home. It's hard to have the sensitivity to feel these things, but on some level, it called you back. Nobody really leaves the holler. At least not forever. Call it a quirk of the town. Oh my god, you're right, aren't you? Oh my, you look absolutely horrified. I was just pulling your leg, dear. People leave town all the time. We just haven't been blessed with the most frequent public transportation. Thank you for patiently waiting with an old woman, Dr. Neon. I feel spry as a spring chicken. You and Sybil trek through the remainder of the woods and find yourselves on the outskirts of the estate. I'm looking forward to continuing our chat tomorrow, once you had some time to rest. Good luck handling Tabitha. I tried to soften her up over the phone, but there's only so much softening you can do with someone that prickly, bless her heart. Get a good night's rest, Dr. Neon. You've earned it. Sybil heads back through the woods, leaving you alone to face Tabitha. Entre the estate. You open the door to the estate, as quietly as you can, only to find your cousin anxiously pacing in the foyer. She's been waiting for you. So, you finally came back after last night? I thought we were done with all the running around and secrecy. I guess I was just too optimistic. Do you know how stuff like this impacts me? Do you even care? Tabitha, I need to talk to you about some stuff. Now's not really the time. It's never the time. Oscar's house was haunted by the ghost of Charles Shaw Jr., who was murdered by Edward Dean Scarlet. I managed to convince the ghost to move on. Was there a gas leak in the library or something? Do you realize how ridiculous you sound right now? There were like 6 other people there and they all got possessed. They can corroborate everything I'm telling you. Wayne followed me to Oscar's house. Do you think mentioning that awful man is supposed to garner sympathy from me or something? What are you hiding about him? Wayne's none of my business anymore. He's his own man. But I don't like that you're engaging with him in any kind of conversation, and if he tries to talk to you again, just walk away. He's not the decent man I used to know. Conversation over. There was another one of those stones in Oscar's house. It gave me another vision. Like last night, that was gas. I'm sure whatever you thought you saw tonight was similar. Maybe you had another seizure. All the more reason you shouldn't run off and not tell me where you are. Why do you care but don't care? You know, that really bothers me. Who put them there? You expect me to know? They're probably some kind of ancient artifact, and I'm not an archaeologist. Have you been getting enough sleep? You sound a little delirious. But what if they're what's making all of this supernatural stuff happen? Okay, let's say for a second that there is something supernatural happening in town, and these stones are causing it. What are we supposed to do about it? Run around and smash them? Rhetorical question. But I've got news for you. One of them is buried under 20 tons of rock. They've been telling me a lot about our family. I think we've done some terrible stuff, Tabitha. And all of it's probably in your imagination because they're hallucinations stemming from either gas or, I don't know, your own guilt and exhaustion. City folk love to self-flagellate. I think I should go to a doctor. All the passing out and visions and hallucinations, this could be a medical emergency. You know where Dr. Kelly lives, and if you don't, just ask Stella. Maybe an appointment would be a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. That's pretty much it. Great. Then I'm going to bed. Your cousin walks off, leaving you alone.
You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly, you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. In more ways than one, am I right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's Wednesday night. Nearly half a week has passed since you first arrived in town, and a little over half a week remains until the bus comes to take you home. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. has been put to rest, but disaster still looms over the town of Scarlet Hollow. Still, tonight was a good night, and you fell asleep with a gentle, well-earned smile on your face. Episode 4 awaits. If you'd like to save before continuing, please do so now. Crap. That means we're really close to because I think episode 4 is the last episode that's up right now. Episode 5 is supposed to be coming soon. Continue. Would you like a recap before episode 4? Nah. You open your eyes. It's a new day. Last night seems so far away. You can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare, chased away by the harsh morning light. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Hope you made it home okay. Haven't heard from Stella since last night. How about you? You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Call Stella. Hey, what's up? Haha, just kidding. I'm not able to come to the phone right now. This is actually a recording of my voice. It isn't really me. Technology, huh? Anyways, leave me a message. Or don't. I never check this thing. The mailbox is full and can't accept messages at this time. Hey, I'm kind of worried you ran off last night. Text me as soon as you get the chance. You wait for a few silent minutes. Your message sits undelivered. I haven't heard from her either. That's not good. I think we should try looking for her. Let's meet up in town. All right. Let's visit the possum. What's up, dudes? The two possums stare up at you. They both have bread now. That's nice. Wave. Hi, guys. They continue to stare up at you blankly in response. You close the drawers. This is their home now, and there's nothing you can do to change that. I'm not asking to change that. You make your way to the closet. There's no denying it. The doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. Yeah, I was going to say. But your long-dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. Something to mull over for the rest of the day. Wow, okay. Take a shower. As gruesome as that is, and you step into the guest bathroom, and into the shower. I mean, look at that thing. Ratty sheet, not sheet. Shower curtain. Wow, why did I not remember what a shower curtain was for a second? And, you know, the sound of the flies. It feels good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually you'll have to leave this place and confront the rest of the day. In the meantime, you think about the door in the clinic. You're still drawn to it even now. You'll be going back there today. You're sure of it. I'm done here. You're done here. You turn the faucet off and dry yourself off. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. I keep making assumptions with my reading. Head downstairs. Time to face your cousin. You find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety. They're striking this week of all weeks, as if I didn't have enough on my plate already. Street smart. There's almost a cool confidence in the way your cousin talks about the strike. If history is anything to go off here, it almost doesn't matter how strong the strike seems. This is Tabitha's battle to lose. There isn't a union in Scarlet Hollow, which means your cousin can do pretty much whatever she wants. She could fire everyone and wait them out, for instance, or pick and choose her targets. Talk about the strike. You seem confident about the strike. What have you got planned? I guess you'll just have to see how things play out, won't you? You want me to infiltrate the strike? Even if they didn't already know you're my cousin, that seems like a great way to throw gasoline on a fire. This is my problem to fix. Your only job is to stay safe until the funeral is over. Do you know what the strikers even want? I haven't seen a list of demands. I'm sure it's just the usual. I promise you that if any one of them were in my shoes for a month, they'd be singing a different tune. Hmm. Hmm. I can't believe the gall of these people after everything you've done for this town. Some people just never understand the burdens of leadership. Are you being sarcastic? I can never tell when people are being sarcastic about things like this. It doesn't matter, though. Being sarcastic or not, you're right. It's fine, though. I'll get this under control. Have you heard anything from Stella? I can't get a hold of her. No, but that's not exactly newsworthy. She tends to just disappear every now and then. She's tough. She'll be able to take care of herself. If the mine's in trouble, you should just sell it. Sell the estate. Get out while you can. Tabitha bristles. You really are Vivian's kid, aren't you? Trying to bow out just when things get difficult? I'm not giving up like that. This is the Scarlet mine. I'm not just going to cash out on our family's legacy. I'm bringing the mine back to life, one way or another. Well, then you should probably get going, right? Yeah. I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe. No more hijinks. But let me know if you get into trouble, okay? Tabitha slips past you, her heavy boots thudding down the hall as she marches away to face her employees. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Fuel up with a quick PB&J. If Stella's MIA, who knows when you'll get the chance to eat. You make yourself a PB&J in anticipation for the long day ahead of you. And that's that. I can't go out to the garden? All right. You head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. The sun shines down through a thin layer of clouds, illuminating the path in a watery gray light. You can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line, a feeling that reminds you of your time in the woods with Stella. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. Boop, boop, boop. No hidden ones. To your surprise, you find a familiar face making its way up the path towards you. Hey, I was just coming up to see you. Hope you were able to get some sleep after everything that happened last night. I was up most of the night, totally wired on adrenaline. You don't have to put on a front. Last night was a lot. I get it. I appreciate the concern, but I'm all right. You're talking to an expert at vibing. I know most folks would probably be freaking out or having some kind of existential crisis, but that's not how I deal with heavy stuff. Surprisingly enough, Avery is mostly telling the truth. They're fine. I mean, I'm not 100% chill today, I'll admit it. I feel kind of bruised, both physically and spiritually, if that makes sense. But that's just a part of life, right? Nobody makes it to the end completely unscathed. And I'm glad my new emotional baggage comes from a ghost instead of some boring, normal trauma. The supernatural angle takes the edge off a little bit. There's ditchlings everywhere now, even in the daytime. Avery turns to survey the tree line. I noticed a few on my way up. They're kind of funny, now that I'm getting a good look at them, with their scrunched up little Shar-Pei faces. So, should I be worried about these things? I know they're a bad omen or something, but are they dangerous? They're not going to eat me if I take a wrong turn, right? Hey, what's up, Rando? Welcome in, welcome in. I was beginning to wonder if anybody was going to show up. Not eaten, just, incubator? That's probably worse, though. I don't know. They've only been using wild animals so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if they switch to larger prey soon. An incubator? So they don't eat people? That's not so bad. I can handle a couple of eggs under my skin. The animals didn't make it out of the incubation stage intact. But they didn't have the modern medicine on their side. I'm sure I could figure it out with the help of a doctor or two, and make it out relatively unscathed. Nice. Good job. I did absolutely jack and squat other than a little bit here and there. I guess I just took kind of today off. Just vibing today. Maybe I'd even be able to let the eggs hatch instead of just having them removed. It'd be sad to kill the babies, but at the end of the day, if it's me or them, I gotta go with self-preservation. Is it terrible to say it would be kind of neat to grow a weird little guy? We are so on the same wavelength. I guess it might steal all our nutrients and kill us, which would be bad. But if it didn't, there's a one-of-a-kind lifelong friendship with a weird little creature, and there's no way I'm passing up an opportunity like that. Have you heard anything from Stella? I haven't heard from her. Though we don't text much, I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for an early breakfast or anything. But if you haven't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her like that last night was awful. She's usually so unflappable. Kanique and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Want to come? Absolutely. I told Winnie I'd be coming in late today, so I've got time. I don't know how much time, though. From what I saw this morning, there's already a few miners holed up in there. They must be using it as some home base for the strike. Oh, by the way, there's a strike going on. I'm sure you already know, though. Have to imagine Tabitha would have told you this morning. Ah, well, that can be fun. Normally when I write, and I'm not saying I'm good at it, but normally when I write, the story just kind of keeps going. Like it leads from one thing to the next. I mean, sometimes I really do have to rein it in, and I do realize that. Well, then let's head to town. Yeah, good idea. Well, I kind of figured it would be something like that. Yeah,
I'm not even sure if I'd ever even want to write something like that. I'm not saying that it's bad for you. I'm just saying for me, it's just like, I'm not sure if I'd want to explore that part of me. You and Avery head straight to town. It isn't long until you could once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Dr. Neal, you made it, and you picked up an Avery along the way. Hope you're both doing okay, like emotionally. I'm not even sure if it's a matter of courage. I'm pretty sure that my mental health would take a big hit. Yeah, I'm not too bad. That's good. I feel like I got crushed by a steamroller or something. Joints all out of whack, totally exhausted, and super foggy. Mom has been insisting I caught a cold and I wasn't buying it. But as of this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, even considering the ridiculously stressful week we've all had. But I'm not going to let that stop me from looking for Stella. Stuff like that is also why I got out of like security and stuff, because I'd have to look at people, and I still have to fight it. Well, for me, it's not a matter of courage. I mean, one, why am I going to propagate even the idea of it? Like, I wouldn't want to visit a sex trafficking ring, so to speak, even in my head. I have a very vivid imagination. And what would I profit from it? For me, again, this is for me, not you. I mean, you do you. I'm talking about me. Because it's all about me. I just feel that it would be very dark, and I can delve into some very dark parts, and I'd be afraid what I'd dredge up from the depths. What would hang on to me after I, came back. And I've had to battle things like that before. And that's why I say I think my mental health would take a definite hit. I don't know if I'd want to live with what I'd bring back with me. I'm supposed to see your mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that couldn't have told all of us last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune. After last night, I wouldn't doubt that she actually could. Your mom's always had a bit of the Glinda vibe going for her. Ha! Yeah, maybe I should stop making fun of her whole New Age mystic-y thing. At least, a lot's happened in the last couple of days. Ugh. I need to take a page out of Stella's book and just block this shit out. I need to be focused. I can't keep having all of these existential crises. There'll be plenty of time for tea after we found Stella. Let's not dawdle. Yeah, see, and that's why I'll never be a great American author. Because I'm too afraid of what I'd bring with me, let alone what I could encourage in others with the writing. I'm a pretty persuasive dude in talking. And I'm actually, I mean, honestly, I think that's one of the reasons why I don't really ever finish writing anything. Because I'm actually afraid of what I could write. Because I can't, I mean, just barely even scratching the surface, I can write some pretty powerful stuff. Yeah, see, no. I'm not touching any of that. See, I don't even like reading about that stuff for, like, even in my fiction. I skim that. None of that has ever spoke to me.
I'm not saying it's bad for, well, okay, the R word, that's bad for anybody. Like light BDSM, like if that's what it, if that's your thing, that's your thing. That's fine. It's definitely not mine. The one time a girlfriend tried to do that, we experimented with it. I ripped the bed frame out from underneath the bed because I don't like being tied. You don't cage me. You don't. No. It's probably why I don't do well in jobs either. Let's not dawdle. I'm worried about Stella, and it doesn't feel right to be doing anything that isn't actively looking for her. Agreed. Let's get to work. Where to first? Well, let's go to Stella's house. Good place to start. Maybe she just slept in. Well, that's what I'm hoping. I would have gone already, but was kind of nervous about doing anything by myself today. Just in case I ran into another horror from beyond the veil or whatever. You make your way towards Stella's house. I'm glad I had other people here. I've never been here. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. This doesn't look like a break-in. It looks like somebody left the door open. Stella or someone else was in a hurry when they left. Gotta look for information. You step past the threshold into Stella's house. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. It doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything. Unless it happened in another room, or maybe someone or something caught her off guard. You didn't have to add that last part. I'm going to forget you said that and just be thankful this doesn't look like a crime scene. Investigate the kitchen. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple of cabinets are hanging open. A loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. Peanut butter. Is Stella's kitchen normally this messy? I wouldn't call this messy. It's a little messy. If this is a little messy, I don't want to know what you'd call my room. I wasn't judging. There's nothing wrong with a little mess. I don't know. Bro, you're the only one here. I don't know what happened to everybody. Everybody's just not here, so. Hell, if I was going to wait till like after the first hour, if nobody was still, if still nobody was here, I was just going to call it for the night because I just assumed nobody wants to watch me. Or a lot of mess. We're getting off track. Stella's house has always felt a little sterile to me. This feels a little too lived in, if that makes sense. Though maybe it's just because I've only ever been over when she was already expecting me. Maybe this is just a rare peek behind the curtain at the real Stella. The real Stella should call her friends and let them know she's okay. Investigate Stella's room. You make your way down the hall to what you assume is to be Stella's room. She's not here. Though it is a little untidy. It's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. I'd better not hear a single comment about this room being messy. I wasn't going to say anything. Check her computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? We already broke into her house, right? For all we know, there could be some sort of clue on there, like a note detailing exactly where she is. We didn't break into her house. The door was left wide open. Honestly, actually, in the law, that doesn't matter. Well, maybe the computer was left open too. Exactly. If there isn't a password, maybe we're supposed to take a peek. Maybe we'll find the first note in an elaborate scavenger hunt she set up overnight. Sure, snoop away. I'm not going to take part in this. I'll just be over here standing in the corner of the room, not looking over your shoulder. Let me know if you find anything. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display. Whoa. How do we find anything on here? You don't. Come on, let's go. Sift through the chaos. You spend plenty of time with computers and are more than capable of sifting through the chaos of a messy desktop. One folder catches your eye. Boring tax stuff. You're no fool. You've seen this folder before. You have this folder on your own computer. Boring tax stuff never contains boring tax stuff. For that matter, it never contains anything related to taxes, and its contents are never boring. Not sure if I want to do this. You open the folder. You're surprised to find it contains a carefully mapped out diagram of the Scarlet Hollow mines, including holes in fences and areas with low visibility. There's also a handful of photos of Stella and Tabitha together as teenagers. Tabitha wears an uncharacteristic grin and an authentic, joyful smile, and Stella's eyes are somehow brighter, less tired. Both of them seem to be living in a happier time. Okay, I take it back. This is way too personal. I'll just join Kanika in the other corner while you wrap things up. But I'm worried about her, so I would do this. It would take you all a day to count the number of open tabs on Stella's browser. So numerous are her tabs that you can't see a single icon. A sea of rounded, featureless triangles form the Windows edge to Windows edge. Her most recently opened tab is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, a forum for cryptozoology enthusiasts. You visited Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm in the past. Despite the name, and despite the fact that posters call themselves Carl's Big Feet, the community takes itself very seriously, and it's one of the more consistently active cryptic boards on the web. The post in question is titled, "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow." Hidden, Appalachia. Hey everyone, was out chasing a skunk ape sighting the other day, and I found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them before. Anyone have any good ideas? Any leads? Camera isn't shaky enough. This is totally staged. Clean footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of except for your friend's mom? The only thing I'm seeing when I Google ditchlings is some city in England. Thought you were legit. Guys, since when did high quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Since every low budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. I'm serious. I've got a ton of extra footage. Look at what they've been doing to the animals in town. They're apparently some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Mothstan. Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. I believe you. Ugh. Lucky you're falling into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. The thread continues into the next day. Hey, okay, so one, this isn't an ARG. I would never. And two, you're not going to believe this, but we went to an abandoned mine last night to investigate things, and I'm pretty sure we found some Tommy knockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape. Audio file. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real. 2 supernatural events on back-to-back nights. This is so fake. I can't believe I bought into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it. YouTubers are always going to sell out to big indie horror. This is kidnapped by aliens all over again. Also, lol, doughy white things, and now loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? Stop cyberbullying her, or I'm going to call the mods. Locking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying and no self-promo. Okay, I think I've seen enough. Thank God. I don't think there's any clues here.
I don't think so either. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier.
It could use a few more houseplants. I'll bit together some trimmings after we found her.
Aw, she still does those corkboard string things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyway.
You turn to leave Stella's house. Okay, so maybe she came home last night, maybe she didn't. But she's definitely missing.
I thought I was overreacting this morning. I hoped she would just be sleeping in. I can't believe she's actually missing.
We'll find her.
Where to next? Ask Oscar. We should check in on Oscar. He's smart. Maybe he'll know what to do. I hope nothing else happened after we went home last night. They're so brave for sleeping in that house after everything we went through. I'd rather sleep in the woods with the ditchlings than someplace that has that haunted. Actually, Ghost is probably at work. Now that I think about it, it's Friday night.
Your mom said it's safe, and I'm inclined to believe her. Why would she lie?
But how would she know?
Magic, probably. But there's only one way to find out. Let's go. Morning light streams in through the library's large windows. In the bright daylight, it's once again a place of comfort, all menace having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure.
No ghosts. Thank God. I was not up for an encore.
Yeah, it's gone. Just like your mom said it would be.
I guess Oscar must be in the back. I know that's where I'd be if I finally got my house back.
I've always been surprised at how unsupervised this place is. Sometimes it feels like anyone could just walk in and do whatever they wanted.
Like what? Steal books?
I mean, they could, right? I'm not saying anyone would. I'm just saying the people in this town trust each other. A lot. It's nice.
Let's go find Oscar.
You make your way back towards the annex. It feels strange to be back here. In the light of day, as if the events of the previous evening were all just a terrible dream. This hallway really takes me back. Feels like it was only yesterday that we were last here, blissfully unaware that our entire lives were about to change forever.
It was only yesterday.
I know. Kanika knocks on the door.
Hey, good morning. It's so good to see all of you. Please come on in. Take it you got a good night's sleep.
You're doing really great, Rosalina. Not a lot of kids your age can take shots that well. You're being so brave.
You don't have to talk to me like I'm 5.
But you are brave.
You really are, Rosalina. You're like so badass.
Alexis is right. This is more than most people have to deal with in their whole lives. And you're here taking it like a champ. Dr. Kelly's demeanor vanishes as she turns and glares at you.
Of course.
Oh, I see we have visitors.
How you doing, Rosalina? Tired. My leg hurts a lot, but the medication is helping. It's not so bad now. Plus, I got to lie down in an actual bed last night, and you have no idea how good that felt. Thanks, Darker Neon. I can't believe you got any sleep last night after all that ghost stuff. I just sat on the couch with all the lights on. I don't think I slept at all. I really needed sleep, or really needed some rest after, the hospital, my foot. Your body is desperately trying to get you to rest. All that activity yesterday was pretty brutal on your injury. It's never going to stop hurting if you keep pushing yourself. So, what are you not going to do today? Anything? That's right. You're staying right here. No walking around. No investigating haunted houses. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I should have been better at stopping her.
I take full responsibility as her father. I should have. Nice.
No need for anyone. No need for anyone to stay in to take blame for anything. It's the hospital's fault for sending her home at all. It's gross negligence, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree.
But given time, then you can do all the activities you want. Right, Rosalina? How's Reese? He's fine. Had a rough night, but he'll recover. He's used to this sort of thing. He just needs a couple of days to get back on his feet. That means no more excitement, not even a movie. I'm sorry to hear that, Dr. Kelly.
Oh my God, flirt with the mom. That would be friggin' hilarious.
No, I will respect this boundary and not bother either of you anymore. That sounded suspiciously like sarcasm, but I'll choose to believe you mean it. Why does everyone seem so chill? Shouldn't you all be traumatized?
Just because I'm not a gibbering heap doesn't mean I haven't been mentally scarred beyond my comprehension. I know I should be freaking out, but what can I say? Last night was fun. So I'm just going with the flow, seeing where this adventure takes me.
Fun? Speak for yourself. I feel like the only reason I'm not a total mental shutdown right now is the crisis hasn't really stopped. The week started with a man dying, and it's somehow all been downhill from there. So yeah, I'm putting off the inevitable breakdown until I know things are done escalating. I don't think it's sunk in for me yet. I'll deal with whatever I'm picking up now in therapy when I'm 30. That's what grown-ups do, right?
Some of us never go to therapy. Who knows what hidden scars I have under layers and layers of scar tissue. Because, they're scars, so they're under scar tissue. That sounded so much better in my head.
Have any of you seen Stella since last night?
Not since dinner. She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you?
I'm starting to freak out a little bit. I really care about her, and she's just gone. It's okay, Darker Neon. We're going to find her.
That's not good. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I feel terrible. This is my fault, isn't it? I should have done a better job warning her.
Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you're going to be able to stop her. You were going to be able to stop her. There was no way you could have known how she would react when she found it.
I don't even think she knew how she'd react. And besides, you didn't know how bad it was going to get. You can't blame yourself for everything, man. I know you probably feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everyone around you is okay, but sometimes that's just not going to be possible. You're only one guy. That's what Rosalina always saying. I suppose I do apologize more than I should.
You really do. Warn Dr. Kelly. We found something in Oscar's house last night. A stone carving that gave me a vision about what happened there. There was one in the mines the other night, too. Both of them had a sort of pull on me. Whatever they are, there's something like them in your clinic. I felt it last night. You can feel Dr. Kelly's demeanor shift. She's grown quiet, her gaze piercing and analytical. Something awful is going to happen at the clinic, just like something awful happened at Oscar's house and at the mines. Forgive me if I don't take your funny little feeling very seriously, but the clinic is safe. I understand there have been some strange events around town, but Reese and I have lived in the clinic for a long time, and we've never encountered anything. She glances at Oscar. Ghostly, there's no need to concern yourselves with our safety. But if something does happen at the clinic, aren't you worried about Reese? If it's anything like what happened to us last night, he'll be fine. If some kind of ghost emergency happens, I can take care of him. So none of you need to come snooping around. She hesitated before landing on the word ghostly. She's hiding something. I'm just going to remain silent. I'm not going to goad her any further. So, you've got your meds, you've got your nest of pillows, a helpful friend by your side, and a cat to keep you company. Seems like you're all set. Make sure you do a whole lot of nothing today. I will. Bye, Dr. Kelly.
Yes, thanks again for coming down to see us, Joan.
Not a problem. I'd much rather that she stay put than have to get in and out of cars. I'll call later today to see how things are going. Hope the rest of the week is less eventful for the both of you. Goodbye, Rosalina. Make sure you stay put and keep Pixel company, okay? Dr. Kelly's features harden once again as she steps towards the door. And then she pushes past you to leave Oscar's house.
Well, we'll let you kids have some space. Alexis, why don't you figure out a restful activity for you and Rosalina?
Will do, Mr. Gutierrez. I brought some video games and puzzles from my house, and some movies, too. Whatever you want to do, Rosalina.
Oscar ushers you down back to the library. What's up? Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine, or at least is much better than yesterday. I can't thank you all enough. I'd like to be as helpful as I can here and on out. Now that our little situation is dealt with, I finally have the time to dig into the town archives. Our house was haunted because someone was murdered there. I'm trying to slip back into the Avery. That mine collapse the other night was the site of a mass grave. With enough research, and maybe we'll be able to get a step ahead of this next crisis. Maybe we can actually preempt it. That is assuming there's going to be a next crisis, but something tells me we aren't in the clear yet. We should compare notes. Not that I have any to start with, but if you know anything that might narrow down my research, it could save me a lot of time. I don't think we actually know that much more than you do, but I've got some hunches. I can't help but feel like there must have been some inciting event, since everything started getting weird seemingly overnight. What that inciting event was or where to start looking for it, I have no idea, but it's something to keep in mind. Oh, geez. Nice. That sounds like fun. Avery stares at you. I mean, it's obvious, right? Things only started happening once Dr. Neon got here. Kanik shoots Avery a glance. No, we're not throwing Darker Neon under the bus. What? There's nothing wrong with being a magical catalyst. Sure. There's probably nothing wrong with someone being a magical catalyst, but there's definitely something wrong with saying someone's a magical catalyst. If people get the wrong idea, we're only a couple of steps away from the whole town deciding to shaw him. Nobody's going to drag Darker Neon into a witch hunt on my watch. I like to think we've outgrown the days of running people out on rails. I'd rather play it safe. Don't worry. It's not like I'm going to run around town telling everyone that Darker Neon magicked up a bunch of terrible disasters into existence. But if there's a catalyst for all of this, why wouldn't it be the lost Scarlet family coming home to Scarlet Hollow? If I may, Darker Neon, getting into town isn't the only major event that's happened lately. Pearl Ann died over a week ago, and those creatures in the woods were already reproducing by the time he arrived. Not to mention, I started seeing things in our house before Pearl Ann passed away. I think I never thought to make note of exactly when this... I never thought to make a note of exactly when the spirit made itself known. If there's a root cause to all of this, hopefully there's a way to put the genie back in its bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow. That might explain what's going on. Those carvings I warned Dr. Kelly about are important. To think there was something like that under my house this whole time, and to think someone must have put it there, but who? Oh, hell yeah. I mean, that's just the state of the world at any given time. And there was one in the mines, if you're right. There's one in the clinic. Maybe that's what I should be focusing on right now? How many of these things are there? If we're lucky, maybe just those 3. But I'd rather not count on it. Why don't we go down to the basement and take a closer look at that seal that's there? The ghost isn't around anymore, so there's no harm in it, right? I personally would rather not go back into that creepy basement. But that thing has to be the most solid lead we have at this point, right? Not a chance. I know the ghost's probably gone for good, but that thing is evil. And if there's even the slightest chance of going back down there triggers something, it's not worth disturbing. At least not until we know more. But what if our only chance to... My daughter's safety comes first right now. We finally have our house back, and I'm not taking any risks until we know what we're dealing with. I think Dr. Kelly's hiding something. Dinner last night was weird. I don't think we need to go around accusing anyone of being deceitful. No, Darker Neon is definitely right. I know that's probably not great to hear since Rosalina really needs her right now. But something is up with Dr. Kelly. I'm worried about Reese. She seemed pretty normal in there, even if she was a little terse with you two. She was pretty nice to Rosalina, I'd say. Yeah, she likes sick people and kids, people who are easy to control. I request we drop this line of thinking. We don't need to turn on each other based on pure speculation. Besides, she took me at my word about everything that happened last night. That has to count for something, right? Other than maybe... Make sure Pixel stays inside, or he might get grabbed by the ditchlings. The ditchlings are those things from the woods, right? With those faces? Yeah, the Anguished Doughboys. I kind of like them. It's like a hidden object game out there today, with all the weird little faces peering around out of the bushes. Like them? Are we talking about the same creatures that have been laying eggs in the local wildlife? I don't want to get too friendly with them or anything. I just think they're kind of interesting. To each their own. Will do. I can't imagine how devastated Rosalina would be if there was something to happen to him, especially after everything she's been through. I wonder if this could be the work of some sort of cult. You mentioned something like this at the library the other day. If there was a cult in Scarlet Hollow, I feel like I'd know about it. I don't know, I'm just throwing things out there. Let's not get all satanic panic just yet. I know it's not looking unlikely at this point, but having lived in this town all my life, I feel like I would know if there was some cult that ran the place. Yeah, I'm sure we all would think that. I've got to agree with Kanika on this. I feel like I'd have picked up on something. Huh. A cult doesn't necessarily have to run the town to have an impact here. It doesn't even have to be active. From what I gather, those carvings you've been talking about are old. Whoever left them is probably long gone. I'll see what I can find. You never know. Whatever we're doing next, I feel we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella, and fast. I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing today.
See you around, Oscar.
Let us know what you find.
I will.
Yeah, and just imagine how low those numbers and those estimates are. Since there's several popular religions that have offshoots that can be considered cults. Don't trust numbers. So that's Oscar. Any other ideas? Check the church. The church? Why?
I see what you're thinking.
Stella was confronted with the evidence of the afterlife.
So she might try.
We don't know. She was with Stella.
We might try getting into all that religious stuff. It's worth checking.
I think we'd be barking up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. There's no point in not being thorough. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Stella's missing. Gretchen's missing. What the hell's going on?
I wouldn't mind stocking up on some holy water while we're there, too. Seems like a good idea to cover all our bases at this point.
Give me a second. I'm going to hydrate.
I don't think Baptists do the holy water thing, but I'm sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us around a little longer.
Right?
I wasn't meaning just Christianity, though. I mean, there's Christian sects that consider Catholicism a cult, and barely Christian. That's good enough for me. Let's not linger, though. I don't want him thinking we're possible converts.
Kanika leads the way, taking you up the gradual slope towards the church. Actually, that really depends. Holy water can work if you have enough belief. I can bless water to make it holy. Or maybe I can't because I don't really have any faith. It doesn't matter. The Catholics think it only works in silver bowls. But there's other sects that say that holy water is just whoever blesses it. You know, the faith behind the person that blesses the water. You can bless holy oil, too.
You know, I've lived here for a few years now, and I've never actually been to the church. That's probably for a good reason.
Where is that weirdo? Yeah, this guy creeps me the fuck out.
My, 4 visitors at once. On a Thursday. This is 4.
Stella's here.
This is unprecedented. But there's only 3 of us. Oh no. Were we followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by Wayne?
Sup, old people?
Oh. It's just Zane. What are you doing here?
All the glimpses of death I had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if faith held any answers for me. Alas, I have not yet found the solace I seek.
Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work in His way into your heart. But when He does, you won't regret letting Him in. Be sure to look, like a fungus, be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you. And of course, I'm always here if you need to talk.
Right. Well, okay. It's like the idea of colloidal silver. Look up like the real life Papa Smurf. It has a literal, antibiotic effect by a little bit, which is probably where we got the whole idea of holy water in the first place. Give me 1 second. The cat's asking for attention. Okay, I'm back.
Hi. Meow. Meow. Come here. She's being a little bit more insistent than she normally is.
Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all.
Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night, and no one has seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried. We hope you or Janie has seen her? I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've neither seen hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over with the alpacas.
Sup, Infinite?
Though Dr. Neon, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private.
What do you have to say to him that you can't say in front of us?
Yes, hi. Sorry, my cat is asking for attention. Hi. Please, if you wouldn't mind, this is a personal matter.
Well, okay, if it's from which era of the World of Darkness? If it's the original, you can't put too much stock into it. They took a lot of liberal ideas with it.
Whining and screaming.
Sorry about that. Ah, okay.
It's all right. We can get the juicy details later. I'd rather folks not pry on this. You know how rumors get started.
It's okay. I'm happy to talk to him. If you're sure. Look, with what I've faced, I ain't worried about him. Guess we'll leave you to it while we check in with Janie? We'll be right over there by the fence if that's conveniently in your line of sight, okay? I'll see you in a minute. Your friends head off to Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor.
I'm so glad you decided to come up to visit me. So many young people these days seem to think they can solve all their problems on their own. Meanwhile, God is right there, ready to help. Right there to help him if only they'd let him into their hearts.
The pastor's eyes dart back towards the alpacas. Okay, they're gone. Good. You're new in town. What kind of impression did I make on you? Am I creepy? You care way too much what people think of you. If you want people to like you, you have to not care about whether they like you.
That's a harsh truth you're slinging at me. It wasn't always like this, you know. Believe it or not, before I moved to Scarlet Hollow, I used to be pretty popular. I was one of the cool kids over at Harvard Divinity School. He's interrupted by the sounds of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush at the edge of the property. Tulip, come out there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip gazes back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good? Are we going to skip story time tonight? I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go in the woods, I promise. I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time they got fed, and you can give them hay. Yay! Tulip smiles broadly, seemingly excited by the prospect and hurries off. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment. That was not very firm. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into those woods a lot lately, and it's really dangerous, even for adults. There is this massive trash dump not far past the trees, but it must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and looks like part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. Tulip made up some imaginary friends and keeps telling us that they want her to go out there. Like the word of some fictional creature she made up, going to convince us it's a good idea for her to play in somebody's old garbage. But she's 7, so of course she'd get some funny little idea like that. Is it just me? I mean, I don't know anybody
Like, none of the kids I grew up with had imaginary friends. I didn't have an imaginary friend. But, like, in media, everybody talks about like it's a normal thing for kids. I literally haven't known anybody that's had imaginary friends. Like, sure, playing with your stuffed animal, giving them personalities, like actual physical objects, but not an invisible imaginary friend. That creeps me out. Hey, there's Wayne. But there's no ditchlings. You did, in a sense? Okay. I'd love to get the community to rally around a big cleanup. It's about time somebody got rid of all that junk. What are you going to do? How big a trash dump we talking? Would a weekend of hard labor clear it out? Maybe if you had construction equipment and a team of professionals. It's a big area, and I have no idea how deep it goes. In the meantime, I'm just making sure Tulip knows not to go near it. That's not the same thing. What's that you were saying about imaginary friends? Oh, she's just been talking about these friends of hers lately. Little stories about creatures that live in the church. I'm sure she saw some wild animal in there and decided it was her friend. It's nothing to be overly concerned about except for the trash heap situation. The man is lying to you. In fact, he's been lying since the moment he mentioned these imaginary friends. Whatever his daughter has been talking to is real, and he knows it. Sounds to me like you know exactly what she's been talking to. Daniel's eyes go wide just for a second. I don't... He does. He obviously does. He hunches his shoulders, his voice suddenly quiet. There are rats in the church. There, I said it. It's embarrassing. But she saw one at some point, and she can hear them scurrying around in the walls. She decided they're her little friends. Please keep this between us. Don't tell Janie. I don't want her knowing the church is in such rough shape. And you're full of bullshit. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kanika and Avery walking back to the two of you. They must have finished talking with Janie. Janie says she ain't seen Stella either, so we better get going. Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Dr. Neon. We got to feed the alpacas. They were so cute, soft, and it was awesome. And Janie says she'll come by with the diner with cookies for the miners. And a few extra for me, of course. Hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yes, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll bet you all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. All right, thanks. See ya. Kanika and Avery start back to town. You follow. So, what was that about? He seemed pretty insistent on talking to you alone. Yeah, he didn't say anything weird, did he? He wanted to know why everyone in town thinks he's creepy. He is creepy. It's kind of sad, isn't it? I don't think he has a lot of friends. People do weird things all the time to try and fit in. Point taken, but that doesn't mean he isn't creepy. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where to next? Check out the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Here's hoping Winnie doesn't try to rope me into clocking in early. It feels like you walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners, and they're having what seems to be an intense discussion, their expression gravely serious. What's going on? Well, there's a strike up at the mines that made the diner their base of operations. When you asked for the morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie. Stella's gone missing, and I've been helping these two track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize now. I can't say I have. Should I be worried about her? I hope not. We're not interrupting anything here, are we? Of course not. Any paying customer is welcome. long as you aren't about to step on anybody's toes or cause a fuss. The miners in the back are too engaged in conversation to notice you enter, and instead of speaking in hushed voices, argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. Sure, the shift schedules are tough, and I'm sure we don't get enough time off for me to see my family as often as I'd like, but this is the best job I can get right now. Listen, kid, you're only a year or two into this gig. Trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you think you can weather it till you can find something better. Paycheck's a paycheck, I get it. But the next thing you know, you've lost years off your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses up every free second it can to suck out of its workers and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can ever save enough to get the hell out. Zax, we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. My sister needs the paycheck. I'm the only reason she can afford her tuition right now. I can't get fired. And this job still has its perks, like the company housing. I can't afford my own place. Send money back home. I don't know where I would live if I didn't have this job. Right, company housing. How generous of the big boss to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had proper maintenance done in decades. You know she uses that housing as an excuse to pay us less. And the company housing, that means almost nobody in this whole damn town owns the place they live. It's why the Scarlets can keep getting away with whatever they want. Zax, we don't have the numbers, man. You know this is risky. Riskier than most of us can afford. We would have the numbers if you all would stand with me and not let management's scare tactics get to you. It's not scare tactics. People like her, People like her now. That woman ran into a collapsing coal mine and saved 3 children from being buried alive. I feel you. I really do. But how are we supposed to organize a strike against a town hero? Are you trying to tell me that mine collapsed less than 2 days ago is why you don't want to strike? It's a bad time, Zach. It's always a bad time, Baker. It doesn't matter whose name is on the deed for the place. Without us, there is no mine. We've got him up against... This guy's an idiot. We've got him up against the ropes. We can't back down now, or they'll come out swinging. Hey, have you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners turn towards the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison. The YouTuber? We ain't seen her. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. Don't pressure people, Zax. If they don't want to strike, they don't have to. Dark and Neon, what the hell? Oh, great. The boss even has her cousin going around strike breaking. Get out of here before we drive you out. You're not welcome here. All of you calm down. If a fight breaks out in my establishment, you're all out. I don't care who's in the right. You heard the lady. Don't get involved or we'll have to take this outside. I'll take it outside. Come on, bring it, Zax. I got you. Whoa, hey. Let's all bring it down a notch. I'm sure Dark and Neon just doesn't have a good grasp on the situation. Let's not start any fights. I think I kind of do have a good grasp on the situation. Have you seen the conditions that the boss of the mine lives in? I really don't think she's making much profit as you seem to think. Just saying. No need to kick anybody out, Aunt Winnie. We're all friends here. I just want the record to show that just because I'm currently standing next to Tabitha's cousin does not mean I am friends with Tabitha's cousin. Ouch. I barely know this person. That pissed me off, Kanika. Fine. We should go to the cops. Are you sure? Nothing against the officers of Scarlet Hollow. But you met them, right? Do you think they're worth the trouble? As unhelpful as they are, we are dealing with a missing person. That's cop stuff. It's probably going to be more a formality than anything, but there's no point in not covering all our bases. Yes, sir. Right on it, sir. The police station is exactly what you would expect from the town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You enter to find a worried Beau standing between you and the officers behind the desk. Good.
Let me get this straight. You're trying to report a missing pumpkin?
Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Sheriff Hugby, sir. She was going to be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to me. Are you sure it was Julius and not some enterprising bear that got a hold of it? You all know Julius thinks the land belongs to him. He probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so for all I know, he might be all the way to the state fair by now with our pumpkin. Ain't there something y'all can do about it?
I'm afraid we'll need at least some kind of evidence to go on before we can go barging into a man's home, son. Why don't you see if you can find something a little more solid for us to go on? Then we can see about helping you out.
The cops realize you've entered, their attention quickly shifting to you.
Well, if it isn't our little prank caller. You know you're not supposed to do that, right? There's laws in the books about prank calling emergency services.
We'll let you off with a warning for now, but only because it was funny. Listen up, boys. We got a missing person on our hands. Stella hasn't been seen since yesterday, and the front door of her house was left open. Place was a mess. Oh, so you're thinking you're leading an investigation, do you? Coming in here like you have some kind of authority? Well, then why don't you march on out? Dig up some clues, if you think you're such a big shot. Remain silent. There's no point in arguing with these clowns. She'll turn up. She always does.
Hey, Beau, did you manage to find your dad?
Beau's stoic expression breaks, and for a moment you can almost see tears forming in his eyes, but he blinks them away.
Yeah, I found him. Hear that, Deputy Franklin? Sounds like you got another report to close.
Lucky me.
I gathered what there was to gather. We're giving him a proper burial in the family plot. It's been tough going trying to dig a hole while the farm is crawling with these hairless things, but it needs to get done. Do you think they'll go back where they came from soon? Mama and me have tried to fight them back as best we can, but it seems like there's more every minute. I'm personally doing everything I can to send them packing. I'll do my part. I'll kick in as many of those nasty little faces as I can. But I don't know how many I can send scampering off. Seems like there's no end to those critters. Looks like you folks are busy. We'll be on our way. Because they're a piece of crap. It wasn't a total waste of time. I already got it. We got to find out. It wasn't a total waste of time. We got to find out what's been going on with Julius. He's been missing from the diner for a few days. It's weird. He usually comes in every single day. Maybe he's preoccupied with ditchlings? I just hope he's okay. Where to next? The mines, I guess. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went to find your cousin, since they're friends. You don't see it. Oh, come on. The two of them have such a dynamic, you know. Classic dog and cat situation. Come on, I'll drive us. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourselves outside the Scarlet Mines. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. Better hours now, or none at all. I am unhappy with the treatment I am receiving as a worker in the Scarlet Mine. Inventive, guys. Very catchy. I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all of this. Don't worry, I know these guys. Most of them are in the diner at least a couple of days a week. They'll be chill. Will they be chill talking to Tabitha's cousin, though? Look out, fellas. That's the boss's cousin. Zach said these kids were just down at the diner acting suspicious. Don't engage. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. Miners collectively ignore you. Look, I know you have a well-deserved bone to pick with Scarlet's, but Stella doesn't have anything to do with the strike. Have you seen her or not? The YouTuber? She's the one that on all the band property posters, right? We haven't seen her, and we've been out here all day. We'd know if she'd come by. Oh no, this isn't looking good. It's okay. Just because she hasn't been seen today doesn't mean something bad happened to her. Well, make sure to keep an eye out. We'll make sure to keep an eye out. Do I need to talk to Tabitha? Yeah. Okay, they haven't seen Stella. Let's just go. If that means we don't have to talk to Tabitha, that's fine by me. We've done our due diligence here. Come on, I'll drive us back to town. We can figure our next move from there. It's only one. Ooh, I love fish. Not much. We're still looking for. A bot. Where next? As you consider your next step, you remember your appointment with Sybil. She seemed to be confident last night that Stella would be okay, but she'll be able to help you find her. But maybe she'll be able to help you find her. She knew about the ditchlings, after all. She seems to know all sorts of things. Yeah, I kind of figured you were at work. How's it going? She's the only person who believed you and Stella from the beginning. She could prove to be a valuable asset. We all having a good Friday? I mean, it's been okay. Been pretty quiet tonight. We should talk to your mom. I'm supposed to have tea with her today anyway. Sure, we can humor her. Well, then you probably just settle down, listen to my dulcet tones as I talk you into a deep, deep slumber for the next 20 minutes. Ghost, it is time to sleep. Haunt no more. Sleep, perhaps to dream, will be the best thing for you. To pull a double tomorrow. Ha! Sure, we can humor her. She's probably going to give you some rocks or bundles of herbs for protection or something, which might actually work. Who knows? Guess there's only one way to find out. Yeah, let's do it. Gotta love a clopin. Is that a typo or is that something I don't know? The bells of the general store chime welcomingly as the three of you enter. Kanika. There you are. You were supposed to stay in bed today, remember? And hello, you two. Oh, closed. Yeah, got it. Clopin. Yeah, been there, done that. And hello, you two. Hope you're both recovered from last night's fiasco. Sorry, Mom. It's just that Stella's missing, and Stella can take care of herself. Unlike you need bed rest and lots of fluids. You don't need to go running around town spreading that cold of yours. Jeez. Well, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so wind down, get some sleep. I mean, especially if you got to be up at 5. You're barely going to get 6 hours of sleep. No, you're not even going to get 6 hours of sleep. You're looking at like 4 or 5. Go to bed. I appreciate you being here, but go to bed. Sleep is very important. Go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. I thought you had some kind of important thing to talk to Darker Neon about. I'm really feeling okay. I want to hear what you have to say to him. See, you notice that Sybil is also doing the same thing that the doctor, Kelly, is doing? Trying to protect their kid, keep their kid within, inside, indoors. Something's really going on. And they know something. Ghost, take it from a guy that's chased money. It ain't worth it. I'll just be doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Bye, Darker Neon. Kanika turns and heads towards the stairs without saying another word. No, not at the sacrifice of your mental health and your physical health. Because burning it at both ends like that, stressing yourself, you're most likely to get sick. Good thing Kanika has her mom looking out for her. She seems so tired today, and you'll probably be able to find Stella without her. And I'm sorry to be a bad host, Avery, but I was hoping Dr. Neon and I could do our reading in private. I'm sure Winnie needs help at the diner. Oh, you're right. I totally left her on her own today. Fine by me. Wouldn't want to mess with your tea vibes. I'm sure those leaves are very particular. Okay. I know, I've pushed myself like that. And you don't feel it at your age. You feel it at my age. In 20 years, you'll know exactly how many times you've done it. Because every time you do try to push yourself, it's a little bit harder. You don't recover as fast. Oh, and before I go, I did want to ask, are you a witch? Avery does not beat around the bush. As flattered as I am that you think I'm that magical, I'm just an old lady who likes tea and has a few unusual hobbies. Look, I'm just saying, doing stuff like reading tea leaves is pretty witchy as far as I'm concerned, but I won't push it. Though, just so you know, if you are a witch, you can totally tell us. We'd be cool about it. I'll leave you all to your not supernatural private tea leaf reading. We'll catch up tomorrow, Dr. Neon. They make their way out of the general store, disappearing down the street in the direction of the diner. Shall we? Sybil motions towards the tea room. Follow Sybil to the tea room. Please have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. You take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. It's dark here, only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plant in the corner. Booksmart, castor bean, incredibly toxic plant. Strange for a tea maker to keep around in her workplace. Yeah, you know shit. Castor bean? I mean, just a little bit of that oil makes you, literally purge everything. Castor oil used to be used as a punishment. It's pretty, though. Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying earth. It's the same tea you sampled with Avery at the diner on Tuesday. This is a special blend. It should help clarify some of the visions you've been getting. I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? Sip. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core. Like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. So how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow?
Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hill folk that probably absolutely hate the Scarlets. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine.
The other day you promised to tell me, what was it, unsavory tales of my mom's youth?
I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Pearl Ann was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say, she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel.
Why were Pearl Ann and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother?
Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young. Too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor.
So what do you know about my grandma?
I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were 2 in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother.
I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist?
I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it. What with skipping town and all.
So what happened when my mom found out she was pregnant?
She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assume your mother's worries had something to do with her religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious, as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it stuck in my mind. It always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby.
With all this mystery and ritual, if you have something to tell me, just come out and say it. All right, man. Yeah, you have a good night. What's Sunday? Is Raven streaming Sunday instead of Saturday? Hey, gossip.
I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea should help to give me a full picture.
How is Gossip doing tonight? You having a good evening? Finish the tea. You close your eyes, take another sip, and then another. It's delightful. The tea is gone before you know it. The small cup empty. The small cup empty, save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom.
Oh, good. Glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business.
Sybil takes the cup from you. Ah, okay. Yeah, I kind of wondered if you were like having a party and stuff was going on. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge.
Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, and difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with a definite urgency. It's fair to assume this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may, at the very least, be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy, lurking in plain sight.
I honestly think it's Tabitha. The cat could be Tabitha. Ooh, spooky. What the hell? Did you guys hear it multiple times? Right. Did you hear the jump scare multiple times? Because it kept, like, echoing for me. Like, it wasn't as loud as the first time, but then it just kept going. Right. Okay, so it wasn't just me. Sound alerts has been really weird lately. She brought me all the way out here, but she's constantly pushing me away. It's like she doesn't even want me to be around. Right?
Interesting. It could be she has some ulterior motive to inviting you all the way out here.
Yeah, because she's part of the cult that's actually causing all of this.
I don't know what it would be, but you'd be best be on your guard. Be suspicious of anything she asks you to do. It's clear something bad is coming your way. And let's suppose for a second that you're right, and it's possibly connected to your cousin. Knowing this means we can try to counteract whatever she might have planned for you. From what Tabitha said, it seems she wants you to stay put and stop snooping around. It sounds to me like she's trying to keep you from finding something.
Yeah, probably the fact that I can... Who knows what, honestly. That maybe I'm actually the true Scarlet heir.
Judging by what you told me last night, those stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this.
No shit, Sherlock. You are so intelligent.
It's possible Tabitha doesn't want you finding more of them. Maybe she doesn't want you to see any more visions about what your family has done. I don't know if it is just about protecting the Scarlet legacy, or if there's even more sinister at play. But finding more of them could be vital to protecting yourself from her. Have you sensed any other around town? Do you think you might be able to find another?
Your thoughts drift to the door yesterday. The one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. You didn't get this all from tea leaves. Of course she didn't. She's smart. She knows how to deduce things from the leaves.
Of course not. Tea leaves are merely a guide. Sometimes they can help confirm suspicions or fill in where my intuition falls short. I'm a gummy bear. No, anyway. My family has lived in these hills a long time, as has yours. I know the Scarlets have secrets. I know Vivian was scared for you. But your place in all of this is something we have to figure out together. I'm the catalyst. I mean, Avery was probably pretty right. I am the catalyst. And that's why she wanted you here and doesn't really give a shit about you otherwise. But she needs you alive to a certain point. And that's where little tricks like tea leaves come in handy. But we shouldn't digress. Do you know where you might find the next stone? I think I felt another in the clinic. That's good. If you can find your way inside and uncover another stone, that could give you a leg up on Tabitha. Especially if you don't let her know what you're up to. You'll just have to be careful to avoid the doctor. Something tells me she won't take too kindly to you sniffing around her clinic. If I recall correctly, there's a hill that'll take you nearly all the way to the second story, and she never locks any of the doors up there. Just in case that's helpful information. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. Thanks, I'll let you know if I find anything. Glad to hear it. I hope all goes well. I wish you luck. Hopefully, you won't need it. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table, and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. Sybil closes the door to the tea room. The bells of its door strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. And that's where we have to save it.